Hello, people. Welcome to the Week 14 edition of Fantasy Suckers. We are here to give you our lengthy knowledge or lack thereof of fantasy sports and answer your questions and let you know how we feel week to week. We're coming right down. The playoffs are about to start, so things are important. My name is Johnny, and I'm here with my boy Twan, the drunken master boxhead. What's going on, buddy?
What's going on? From one playoff failure to another. Welcome to the toilet bowl.
I lost 3 games in a row the last 3 weeks. I mean, it might have something to do with Cooper Kupp being injured.
Yeah.
If I won any of those 3 games, I would have made the playoffs, I'm pretty sure. But hey, better luck next year. I don't think without Kupp, I would have been able to win a championship. So maybe
health is important down the end. So
absolutely, man. At this point now, we're starting to we're gonna be recommending third string quarterbacks, second string quarterbacks that were just picked up off waiver wires. Like I don't know, man. At this point, you might need to tell people to start Baker Mayfield. Fuck.
Yeah, man. I was absolutely surprised by that. I went to sleep. And then I woke up the next morning and I watched that entire last drive where he went down 98 yards in like under 2 minutes with no timeouts. I'm like, where the fuck was all this when you were with us? Maybe we shouldn't give you the playbook at all,
Yeah. Maybe that's what it was. Like he came in with one day and was figured out something. He probably had like 12 plays.
And he got no balls batted. That was a common theme here in Carolina. Like every other ball was getting batted.
And from what I recall, like the Rams don't have that great of offensive line either. So
yeah, and that's why Stafford got hurt.
Yeah,
and that's why they don't have a running game. But to each their own. I do like Baker, so I wish him greener pastures. Just wasn't a good fit for us. Obviously, but he got NFC Player of the Week, Offensive Player of the Week for what he did in LA, and kudos to him.
Yeah, I mean, we can get into that a little bit later. I'd like to ask you your thoughts on that, but right now let's just see your boys. He's in the waiting room now. Now we will let him in shortly when we get to the team.
Oh yeah, by the way, guys, we're gonna be having our first guest appearance tonight. One of my good friends goes by the Element of One. He's a huge Steelers fan, so he's gonna be joining towards the end of the portion of the show where we talk Steelers and Panthers, which is gonna be the last 1:00 game.
Okay. All right. So for now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna get into our top 2 picks. I mean, basically, our favorite 2 waiver wire performers. We're not gonna suggest like, Ja'Marr Chase, whoever, somebody who's obviously a top tier thing, but somebody who might have been, I guess, on the waiver wire or not even really rostered by everybody across the lands. But here we go. Let me set this up real quick. All right. So these are Twan's top performers for the week.
I don't see
Jared Goff and Evan Ingram.
Oh, you went to a different screen. I gotcha.
Can you see that?
I can see it I can see it now.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So, I mean, Jared Goff has been
so what I was looking at earlier. My obviously I said that my top 2 performers of the week off the waiver wire are Jared Goff and Evan Ingram. Jared Goff is actually still on about 50% of waiver wires, which is kind of surprising, especially over this time where they've been making this playoff push. I think they've won like three of the last 4 and then like 5 of the last 7 or something like that. They're extremely hot right now.
They have one of the best offenses, at least the most fun to watch. And shout outs to last week where I suggested people should at least roster Jameson Williams. Got his first catch of the year, touchdown, 42-yarder. And they have a lot of weapons there. So continue on with your glory about Goff, man. I feel like Goff.
He's been killing it. Like he literally scored 26 fantasy points last week as a quarterback. He was 27 for 39 for 330 and 3 touchdowns. He's just slinging it. And then I was looking at something, like I was listening to NFL radio this morning, and they were talking about like point differentials in the NFC North amongst like the two, basically between Minnesota and Detroit. Detroit has a plus 30 in the point differential, which is crazy because they're 6 and 7.
They're plus 30.
They're plus 30, whereas the Vikings, who are now I think 10 and 3, 10 and 3, they are minus 1.
Wow.
So it just tells me that the Vikings are soft and they're playing down to their opponents and they have a terrible defense. But considering you should, if you're 10 and 3, you should be plus positive in the point differential.
Well, now at this point, they can't be caught by the Lions. So that's like, even if they lost and the Lions won all of them, they'd still be ahead.
Yeah, but still, just point differential. Just tells you how
they're definitely they're
bad
peaking.
They are.
They're peaking at the right time. They seemingly are definitely better than the Seahawks. And Jared Goff, they have a little tough schedule going on, but he definitely should be rostered, and he's definitely a great streaming. 50% people don't own him. He definitely needs to be owned.
And the only thing I will caution about Jared Goff, at least over while you guys are trying to make your playoff push, is he is much better at home or inside a dome. So considering his next game this week is going to be outside at the Meadowlands against the New York Jets, just proceed with caution because that Jets defense is really, really good from top to bottom. Sauce is going to try to shut down Amon-Ra, but Amon-Ra is the kind of guy who rotates and moves from outside to slot. He moves all over the place. But that defense is good.
I think it works in the advantage for the Lions if he's just going to follow Amon-Ra, because there's still DJ Shark and there's still James Williams, there's still Swift. Like this is going to be a big game because the Jets and the Lions both need to win to keep their playoff hopes. So this is one of the games that nobody would think going into the season would be a big game, but there's a lot of playoff implications. So temper your expectations with Goff this week. But I would say he's probably a low-end QB1. So, what about Ingram?
So Evan Ingram, like I really should have played him last week. I picked him up, and I remember I was talking to you about these 2 tight ends. Ingram being one of them. I think I might have mentioned him in last week's show that he might be a sneaky pickup. And lo and behold, he comes up and he has 11 receptions, 162 yards, 2 touchdowns, and he was unstoppable. They were, Trevor Lawrence also had a day. I was considering him being one of the top 2 performers too, but I didn't want to have 2 Jags. So, they're playing Tennessee they played Tennessee last week. Who are they playing this week? I cannot remember, but
I'm saying Trevor Lawrence played probably the best game he's had all season.
He's definitely stepped up. He's becoming what we thought he would be.
What Nick Wright would say, the prince that is promised. But so I
think they're playing Dallas this week. So they're playing Dallas this week, and Dallas is I think the second. They allowed the second fewest points to tight ends. So temper your expectations for him if you plan on starting him this week. But Trevor Lawrence looks his way.
He does, and it's funny. It took him this long to realize I should throw to my tight ends, but I think Evan Ingram's been decent in the past. He's just always needed a quarterback that really liked him. All right, so that's your top 2 performers.
Mhm.
Got my top two performers here of the week. Because I feel like if you started either one of these people, you probably won your league, and you just nobody really saw it. J.K. Dobbins, who I hate to say, just looks like Ray Rice. He doesn't have the same. He doesn't have the same.
He
Thing.
does. He does.
He looks. I mean, he has the same number. It is the same build almost. But anyway, Dobbins played well. He had like 120 yards and a touchdown, and whether it's Huntley or whether it's Lamar, like it doesn't matter. It's gonna be like the Ravens gonna have to run. They don't have too many passing options. So I think Dobbins is a good at very least flex, but definitely RB2. And somebody can put in, especially as certain players have been injured. What I'll get to actually in a second. And then Jerry Jeudy. And the reason I put Jerry Jeudy on here is not for you to pick up later. I give him my top performer because if you started him like in the flex out of desperation, you hit big. And this is the last time you're going to get it. Russell Wilson's gone because of from concussion protocol. He threw 3 touchdowns this game. He threw all 3 to Jerry Jeudy. And then he got injured. He's gone for the next couple of weeks. And who knows? This is the first time that Russell Wilson has looked good the entire season, and I don't know if it's going to be better when he gets back from the concussion protocol. So if you started Jerry Jeudy, you are the real one, and you probably won last week. Hopefully it helps some people out. But
one thing that irked me about that. So you saw his tirade, right?
You saw about what?
Jerry Jeudy's tirade after during the game. Where he
no, I didn't see that. I didn't see that.
So he got mad for some call, all right, and he took his helmet off in the middle of the field, and then he basically went up. He nudged a ref. You know how like nudging a ref sometimes gets a flag at least. You got nothing. You got no flag for taking off his helmet. Got no flag for cursing. Got no flag for bumping the referee.
Oh wow.
All right. But here we go. DJ Moore a few weeks ago, after that Hail Mary, takes his helmet off and they flag him 15 yards for, celebrating. So, it's just like, what's going on here?
I mean, officiating kind of changes week to week to me.
Yeah, I guess now they're less strict about it.
But see, when you look, yeah, you're less strict about it. Maybe because they're getting towards the end of the season, but I mean, yes, there's a lot of injuries, and maybe they have to be more lax. I can't get around it, but officiating is there been something you can
officiating really adjust with the season. So
yeah, definitely changes, man. And so if J.K. Dobbins is still available in your leagues, you should definitely pick him up because there's been a lot of injuries. You see here, like including Damon Pierce. Injuries right now. Josh Jacobs has a finger. Christian McCaffrey has a knee, but I believe they both should play. Raj Stevenson and Damon Harris are going to be gone. Yeah, there's Damon Pierce here, ankle, and Kenneth Walker out.
A lot of running backs are out.
That's a lot of fucking names, man. That's a lot of names that are out. So I mean, a lot of people don't have Akers. And they're saying there a lot of people don't have Dobbins. But yeah. So like, as far as people,
Dobbins is actually, that's actually surprising. He's rostered on 71% of rosters.
Yeah, that's actually a lot. I thought it was actually
they probably stashed him from the beginning of the season, just left him on IR,
Yeah. I mean, he's coming in at the right time.
Yeah, he is.
And he'll help you at the end. But you look here, we have these are some of the waiver wire ads for the week. Obviously, besides, I guess they were smart enough to not put Dobbins on there because look, get Jared McKinnon at 58%.
Mm-hmm.
But the funny thing I love to look at is the thing for the Patriots here. They got 4 different guys. I'm sorry. They got 2 for the Patriots and 2 for the Texans. I'm sorry. That's crazy. I don't know why I saw it like that, but I don't think Kevin Harris. No, they have Damian Harris, and then there's Kevin Harris and Pierre Strong. So they're both unrostered. I assume somebody.
All these Patriots guys.
Yeah, Patriots always have these weird ass running backs, and they figure it out. But, um, I really like, the Jordan Mason guy only because of the team.
Mhm.
Even when McCaffrey with his knee, he'll probably still play in a limited capacity. But anybody who has the ball in their hands behind that San Francisco 49ers offensive line, somehow they figure out ways to produce. So definitely say urge people to pick them up. And there's your boy Chuba Hubbard.
Yeah, man.
I asked you about him last week.
He actually surprised me last week.
I asked you,
we ran the ball so much. We ran the ball so much. I'm like, normal. I've never seen that motor from him in my life. Like normally, as soon as he gets hit, he falls backwards. But yet, like last week, we had a lot of sets where we had eight linemen in, and they were all like churning, pushing legs. I don't know. There was something in his juice last week because he was a different kind of animal last week.
I think he watched this podcast and he was like, the guy with the Panthers background said, "Don't pick up Chuba Hubbard. I don't think he's going to be able to help you." That's one thing you got wrong last week. So I asked you,
yes, sir.
Would you do that? And you're like, "No, I don't think it's going to be helpful."
I did get that wrong. You can't win them all.
Mm-hmm.
But he
right under your nose.
He is starting to change a lot of Panther fans' minds. So like in Panther Nation, like a lot of us, we don't appreciate Chuba because he has brick hands, but over the last 2 or 3 games, he's actually not dropped a pass, which is amazing because we're so used to him being wide open for screen passes and not being able to catch, or like I said, falling down at first contact. But if he hits a hole and he speeds through it, he's got the legs, he's got the jets. But
I think it has something to do with maybe a little bit of pressure, like now there's no McCaffrey.
Yeah,
right?
I agree there.
Yeah, man, it's like, okay, now I got it. Is this a possibility I can take this job over? And but yeah, I hope he ends well. Yeah. Other than that, I'll say this. I look at Zamir White. He's 16% owned. I believe Josh Jacobs might miss just this week. But if you come over here and go to Josh Jacobs, you look at him, even missing a week, he might end up being the rushing leader for the year.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah, you look at the rushing leaders for this season. Like, Derrick Henry's there with his 1,200 yards. He'll probably get to like 1,600 with 4 more games left. But Josh Jacobs, he might have got like 1,800, 1,900. Who cares? But the craziest thing about this is look, Dameon Pierce got up to like 939 yards in I don't know 6 games, I guess.
No, it's like 7 or 8 at this point. But
he got injured last game.
Yeah.
So
and
then the game against the Commanders is basically a bye week.
I didn't realize that Justin Fields is he's gonna crack 1,000.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna point out now. Because look right under there, out of the top, that's rushing leaders, and the quarterback is right under there at 9 or 5, and he missed probably 3 games, I think, injured with injuries this year.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it's flipping crazy. Jalen Hurts probably has like 600 yards or some shit. So things have definitely changed. I guess got the quarterbacks, the key drops this week. This is why we're gonna have some of our waiver wire suggestions later.
Mm-hmm.
Kyler Murray, Russell Wilson, Marcus Mariota. Did you hear what happened with Mariota?
Yes, sir. He is. He basically left the team.
Yeah, he basically decided I don't
He's
want
being
to
a
ever
bitch,
play
man.
football. Yeah, yeah. Like now, at this point of the years, and maybe next year, somebody will be so desperate that they might, have to call him up or whatever. But like, this doesn't look good for you going forward
No, it does not.
like who's gonna want you on their team? Like even the dude in like the practice squad was supposed to act like he wants to be there. So you got benched, which was obvious, which I called for the last few
Yeah,
weeks.
you have been.
And I was like, hey, Desmond Ritter's going to start. And unfortunately, he's not going to get his job because I think Desmond Ritter's probably the best quarterback in the draft. I haven't seen him play yet, but I believe he's the best quarterback in the draft. I think he might be better than Kenny Pickett. Time will tell. And he's going to have better. He doesn't have much wide receivers or much help right now, but I'm interested to see how he plays. I might pick him up just because I feel like he'll have at least one very good game before the year's over. Like they were still in it like, as a team until a couple of weeks ago, so it's not like they're completely devoid of offensive, um, abilities. But hey, let's get it. That's it for now. Let's get into the games. All right.
Yes, sir. Right.
All right.
So we got it's I think it's really early this year, but we got Thursdays and we got 3 Saturday games this week. So I feel like Saturday games are starting up a little bit early, but
all right. So
football.
We'll time out before we get into that. We got one question here. As an ETN, Zonovan White, I believe, or Mike Evans in the flex this week.
Do not start ETN. They're playing the Cowboys. ETN has, he's kind of fallen off a cliff over the last couple of weeks. He's not dependable at this point. Zonovan Knight of the Jets, right? He might be a solid. He might be a solid play because the Lions' defense is. They have gotten better. They have gotten better, but it's a friendly matchup for Zonovan. And then Mike Evans, they're playing the Bengals. That's not a bad matchup either. So I'd probably say Mike Evans.
Yeah, only for the reason of like at this point the old adage of being like a fantasy, or fantasy owners say is or experts, they say go with your horses. I would say Mike Evans is, right? As the beginning. Yeah, and they got to win. They've been falling off as of recently. Tom Brady is basically unstartable at this point. He's like a streaming option to me. So, but something's got to give. And Mike Evans is by far the better player of the three. And you just got to go with your horses. So I would say Mike Evans too, man. If you're feeling really froggy, yeah, maybe he's out of it. But yeah, that's all I can say. Blurpy. Thank you for the question. But yeah, first game.
We got a good Thursday night game. We got a critical Thursday night game, actually.
Sorry, right.
We got a critical Thursday night game, an NFC West matchup with the Niners and the Seahawks.
Yeah, right. Go Niners, please. Brock Purdy might be a nice streaming option.
Absolutely.
I say if this is the start sit him portion, you sit Geno Smith.
Yes.
I don't.
You saw what the San Francisco defense did to Tom Brady and company last week. Yeah, it's gonna be even. It's gonna be a little bit worse. Maybe not as worse because Tom Brady can't throw right now and he doesn't have an offensive line. But you can kind of expect the same kind of production from Geno Smith. So I would say Geno Smith is a definite sit. Agreed.
Yeah, I would definitely sit him. So at that Kenneth Walker is going to be gone. So there's really nothing you want to trust. Seahawks defense is very good, and
Niners defense is really
nothing.
good.
Yeah, nobody on the Seahawks. Like I mean, you start DK Metcalf because you got to start your horses, and if they do score, which I assume the Seahawks will figure out a way to score a few times, maybe 14 points, 17 points, or whatever, but it'll probably go to DK. But I mean, that's the only person I could say maybe start. Like starting Tyler Lockett is you being really saucy against the number one defense and middle of the road quarterback. Geno Smith's been playing better, but he's still like not even Kirk Cousins levels. Like so to me, I always put Kirk Cousins as like he's the middle. He's always 15.
And I think this is a part of the season where
Over
Geno
15.
Smith's career averages, or basically what he actually has truly been throughout his career, is going to start showing. This is the grunt of their schedule. It's pretty hard. They've got pretty much all NFC West games, and he actually threw he had his first multi-interception game last week against us, which I predicted. And it's just it's do or die for Geno, and I think he's gonna live and die with his sword. He's gonna be taking more risks because they're starting to fall down that NFC wild card contention, and with the NFC East playing so well, and with Detroit creeping up their backs, they're gonna be taking more chances.
Isn't the NFC East playing so well? I mean, it's obviously the Cowboys are kind of where people thought they should be. The one outlier, I believe, is the Eagles. All right, the Commanders, the Giants play well in the beginning. Commanders play well kind of the middle of the season. I mean,
but like listening, like so that tie that you guys had, that throws a loop into a lot of things. So
I knew that. I was talking about that for sure.
So even if Seattle were to lose 2 at this point, if the Giants lost 3, they actually still get the tiebreaker. You know what I'm saying? Because they had that tie. So
over the Seahawks.
There's less leeway for the Seahawks, but the Seahawks schedule is much more difficult.
No, the tie helped both teams, helped both teams' possibilities to get to the playoffs. It actually made it better for the NFC East, because I knew, as we talked about it, I was like, okay, is it? Well, I believe I talked about this on the other podcast, but it was just all right. It to me, it didn't matter so much if they lost, like if the Commanders had lost that game before the bye, because I knew there was going to be the bye, and then we would play them again, and in that bye, they were going to get destroyed by the Eagles, which going to be true. And now we're back here. If we win this game, which we should, it's not gonna be another fucking tie. So if we win this game, we would still be ahead of the Giants because we beat the Eagles and we had a better division record, and now we split. So like the fact that there's now a tie, we're both 7-5-1. It just makes it all look optical. They changed it. It's a flex game. Look, we're gonna get to that later. I'm sorry, but
yes, sir. But yeah, I agree with you. Seattle, there's nobody literally I would want to start. Of course, you say DK, but I'm hesitant on that. But I would say go ahead and start him because he is the horse. He is the one that
you drafted him at least second, third, probably in your draft, probably third draft pick. Like you got to start him, and he's healthy. You got to start him. Like if you have continue.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, if you have DeAndre Hopkins and you're like worried about Colt McCoy, you got to start him. Sorry,
you still got to start. You got to start him.
But all right, yeah.
The Niners. We said that Brock Purdy would be a good sleeper start. With Debo being out, would you start Ayuk, or would you just lean on?
I think I might start Kittle. Well, if he's your tight end, you pretty much have to start him anyway.
If he is your tight end, yes,
I would start Ayuk too. Because like for him, this is like a rare occasion where now they can draw up plays for him.
Mhm.
instead of Debo, and then McCaffrey's kind of out, and yeah, you definitely start. It was a shitty defense. So like unless Purdy like gets screws up completely, he looks to me. I don't know anybody else doesn't think he looks way better than Garoppolo.
Oh, he looks way better. He definitely looks way
Way
better.
better. Yeah. Just in
Dude
that.
has some moxie, man. He's not scared. He's playing like how like a lot of rookies come in and they're scared, they're hesitant to throw the ball, they're hesitant to do anything other than
Yeah.
run or throw like screen passes. Purdy, he's just in there slinging it.
Yeah. Yeah, he kind of reminds me. Purdy kind of reminds me of Heineke.
That's who I was gonna say too, because Heineke
He
does
really
he does the
reminds me.
exact same thing.
He really reminds me of that, and people, the teams rallying around him. It's gonna be fun to watch. That's the week after. That's next week is after the Giants. The Commanders have to play the Niners. So,
Oh
but
yeah,
that's
that'll be a fun game.
yeah, it'll be entertaining. Two of the same exact fucking be like mirror match. But okay, so who's after? So
All right,
who's
we got
first
we
game
got three
Sunday?
Saturday. We got 3 Saturdays.
There's 3 Saturdays. Wow. Okay,
Yes,
I didn't
they're
even
treating it.
know.
They're treating it like Thanksgiving. So one at 4:30, and one at 8:15. So we got the Colts and the Vikings.
Okay, Colts and the Vikings.
I think this is what I'm going to say right now. This like you should. I think Michael Pittman is a
Michael
must start
Pittman.
this week. He's a must start. I know
Yeah.
that he's been inconsistent over the last couple of weeks or a few weeks, but Minnesota's defense is reeling right now, and this is the week to do it, to start him again.
All right,
Playoffs.
that's sneaky, definitely a good flex. I will start Michael Pittman for sure. I mean that's it. I mean, what Paris Campbell? You wouldn't start him,
No.
or Anthony Pierce? You wouldn't start him. Is Jonathan Taylor still injured? Is he not?
Let me double check that. But let's
I would start
brainstorm
him.
on.
Yeah. Now for the Vikings, I think the Colts have a decent defense. Would you start Adam Thielen? Is he?
I would not start Adam Thielen. The Colts defense is good. So I'm expecting Stephon Gilmore to be shadowing Justin Jefferson. I see why you're asking that, but I still think that Justin Jefferson will get his
Now
numbers.
Kirk Cousins is definitely might be some people's best option. Like, how far up on the list would you start? Like, would you start Kirk Cousins over Goff? Would you start Kirk Cousins over Geno? Would you start Kirk Cousins?
I would start at this point. I would probably, for this matchup this week, I would likely say Goff is higher than Kirk for me. He's not higher than Geno.
Okay. Now, would you start him over Justin Fields?
Ooh.
It's the playoffs.
Jonathan Taylor is active, by the way. So
Okay,
I would start him.
Yeah. So I guess it's just Dalvin Cook, Kirk Cousins. I mean, and Jefferson. I don't care who's shadowing. I don't care if God's shadowing Jefferson. You started Justin Jefferson. That doesn't fucking matter. So
I would still I would say Justin Fields is still higher, mainly because of his rushing threat, but he has a very tough matchup this week against the Philadelphia Eagles. But
yeah, it's gonna be running and running.
He's still gonna run. He's still gonna run regardless of them being down 40 or not, because he has no wide receivers to throw to. So it's right now me, myself, and Justin Fields.
All right. That's what I'm saying. That's like a top 10 around there, and Kirk Cousins up there. Like, I mean, it's sad to say, you obviously start Kirk Cousins over like a Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers at this point. It's sad, but I mean, he's not going to catch the threshold of like a Joe Burrow or a Mahomes or whatever, but he's capable of having those type of games. So, but yeah, middle of the road. And nobody else in. If not Thielen, like Thielen might be sneaky, but
He might be
Colts,
sneaky, but
Colts have a decent
the
defense.
Colts
And
know
they
how
play.
to they know how to keep games, within reach.
I was about to say that they for some reason they play a lot of teams pretty well, pretty
Mhm.
close. So like they don't really get blown out so often, and they're kind of not of a good team, but yeah, that's all I got on that game. What's
Yes,
going
sir. I agree with you. Let's go to Baltimore and Cleveland.
just Dobbin, like running backs, start
Yeah,
running backs,
Dobbins, Chubbs, both running backs. Um,
start to. I mean, Amari Cooper. Like I
yeah,
I said Amari Cooper weeks ago. Like, all right, he would be better. Like, I mean, he's still not doing what I thought he would. But that's
no.
more on Deshaun Watson not
Mhm.
coming in and performing the way he should. But he's probably hopefully he's getting better week by week. So I mean, can't say to start Deshaun yet, but I might say start start Amari. You know,
Yeah,
and flex
not much we can
maybe.
do there. All right.
Um,
Dolphins, Bills.
that
Before we
is
start about the Dolphins, what is wrong with Tua? He was
um
12. I think he was 12 for 30 against the Chargers.
I don't know, maybe the 49ers gave like some type of blueprint because like once like they were all rocking and rolling until he met his old boy Shanahan, and then like all their confidence went away. They got their
The
ass beat by
Dolphins are falling off a cliff quick here. They have all the weapons, just their quarterback is gone missing. So where in the world is Tua?
residual concussions.
Maybe.
Maybe I don't know. It's just more tape on their offense and
Yeah,
him
maybe.
himself. And they got to figure something out. But they had like shoot. Let me see if we can bring this up. Just the like on a fumble recovery.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
I mean, just give the ball to Tariq Hill at some fucking point, and he's gonna goddamn figure this shit out. Like it's crazy.
Like
Oh,
I don't know how that fumble just landed in his hands. He's just like standing outside the pile. Everybody's in there, and the ball just pops out, and he just present. Bye bye.
yeah, man. I mean, it's so they it's a little tweaking. They'll probably lose. I wouldn't be so
They will
surprised if they
lose.
lost this game. I wouldn't be 100% surprised, but Tua still hasn't proven he can play well in cold yet. I mean, so the cold games are coming, and
Mhm.
we'll see how well he can play. He has great receivers, but I think the defense isn't playing as well as it was earlier. Maybe there's some people injured there that I wasn't paying attention to, but it's really just Tua. He was playing ungodly. He was playing. Remember that
That 7 touchdown game that he started off the
yeah,
season with.
yeah, 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 yeah. Remember that time where Nick Foles was like playing amazing
Hmm.
for like the Eagles under
The playoffs.
the well, no, the years before when they had Chip Kelly.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah, yeah, yeah.
he was like, "Oh my god!" Like fucking Nick Foles, like he threw like 20 touchdowns to like 4 games, some shit like that, and he was killing it. But that only lasts for so long. Look where Nick Foles is now. Is he even where's he backup at? I don't even know. But
Chicago.
oh, okay, yeah. So Foles, like he had a little stretch, and right now,
Yeah.
but
But obviously you start Tyreek. But that's probably the only guy I would consider starting at this point on
I mean, I
Miami.
think you got
At
to
least
start Waddle. You got to start Waddle,
I don't
man.
know. I feel like
Like
I
in
feel like
these
he hasn't
times, and,
he
and
hasn't done much over the last couple weeks.
he's at least a flex. What I'm saying, like most people have double wide receivers in a flex. He has to be at least good enough to be. He's on the tier of Devontae Smith, which we'll probably get to. You'll
Nah,
probably tell me to
I
start
start
him.
I would
I
start
know
Devontae
you'll
Smith
tell me to
every
do
week
that, but
almost.
now, but it
But
wasn't like
literally,
that
like
earlier.
Jalen Waddle's last 4 games, fantasy point wise, 8, 10.5, 0.5, 4.
Pretty bad.
It's pretty bad over the last 4 weeks. He's trending down. So I would say do not start Jalen Waddle and
So I
at
guess you
all.
don't start Tua.
No, you don't start Tua. I would not. I would not depend my playoff life on him.
Tua's probably people's second quarterback, and then by week 3 there was a starting. But hopefully people had better backups. So, are we about to get to
We
the
are
last?
getting.
Should
That's
I
the last
admit?
of the Saturday games. But we have to go over Buffalo. Start Diggs, start Josh Allen, start I feel like Gabe Davis is hitter is super hit
Yeah,
or miss.
yeah,
So
super. I mean,
so you can only depend on the
I
two.
actually, I feel like if depending if it's RB2 on your whole thing, like I actually kind of like Cook. I actually think he's even better start than
He is
Singletary at
trending.
this point.
He is trending up, especially with the cold weather coming, and he's got like not so much wear and tear on him. The cold weather he can endure a lot more. He's a bigger back. So Cook is a sneaky, definitely a sneaky RB2 or flex.
Yeah. So I don't know. You wanna?
Not yet.
Yeah, I was just saying. Remember we got
Yeah.
Josh
Well,
still sitting in the waiting, but
yeah.
we're gonna get there in a few seconds. So um
He's gonna
yeah. So
join in at the end of the ones.
all right, all
So
right.
so we got let's see, 1 o'clock games on Sunday. That's a small number of games. It'll be a boring Sunday. We got Eagles Bears.
Yeah, so we're saying Justin Fields and nobody.
Yeah, Justin Fields and nobody. Jalen Hurts,
Uh,
obviously.
maybe the kicker.
Maybe the kicker.
I mean, I assume if they have any drives, they'll probably stall out. So maybe there'll be some kicking points. That's all I would say for the Bears. But they'll definitely lose to the Eagles.
Definitely. Miles
And
Sanders has been killing it as in recent weeks as well. So
absolutely. And
he's a must start.
And Jalen Hurts, if you drafted him, you've been riding those coattails the whole
He's a
time.
start every week, no matter what, no matter the matchup. Doesn't matter
Actually,
who's
you
playing the
should be.
Niners.
I don't care if you have Mahomes on your team. You start fucking Jalen Hurts. All right. So, no, I don't care.
Oh man, if you have a 2 quarterback league and you have both of those guys, you're gonna
Oh well, yeah. I mean,
in that aspect.
you don't even need to start running backs. You just go, you win. Like those dudes are scoring like 30 plus points a week. Yeah. So, AJ Brown, of course, Devontae Smith, as you said.
Devontae Smith, Miles Sanders.
I
Start all the
don't.
4 Eagles.
I don't know if Goddard is back, but if Goddard's back, you start him too.
I wouldn't rush him back just yet.
That's true. I mean, he's good stash. Pick him up for sure.
All right, so we got the Falcons and the Saints. You're gonna start your boy Ritter for the playoffs? Would you start your boy Ritter for the playoffs?
I'm not starting him this week, but I might start him the week after. I'm not starting him against the Saints. The Saints have
the Saints defense is actually pretty good.
Yeah. And against a rookie, quarterback trying to feed his.
They're gonna attack him more.
Watching. So no.
So I wouldn't start anybody on Atlanta this week.
Yeah, I mean maybe Patterson. I mean in the flex.
Maybe
position.
the flex. Yeah.
But that's about it. It's the only person I know that is actually part of the offense. But
for the Saints, I would start Olave. Would you start Kamara? I mean, I know that he's a RB1 for a lot of
you gotta start your studs, man. Like you can't.
But again, I go back to the Waddle argument. His last 5 weeks, 7.5, 4.5, 10, 3, 4. There's no production. I understand, you gotta start your horses, but at some point you gotta be smart about it too.
I got it. I mean, it'd be hard.
And in their first matchup earlier in the season against Atlanta, he got 4.5.
Mm.
So
Yeah, I would say he's a candidate for a good sit. I guess you're right. Definitely a sit, like of RB ones or people that we can recommend to sit. Yeah, definitely that. So all right.
all right. But yeah, just Olave then, right?
Just Olave.
Yeah, just Olave. All right, we're on to a pretty critical game for both teams here. The Lions and the Jets.
Mm, Lions and Jets. Um, Mike White, Garrett Wilson,
Mhm.
uh,
That deal you have to
Jared,
start.
Jared Goff. Uh,
Amon
I
Ra.
mean, I mean, I'm on Ra. I don't know, man. You know,
I would
'cause
start Amon
very good.
Ra. I
I
would
mean,
start
you
Amon
gotta.
Ra.
I mean, all right. Well, then that's one of those. You know, if you're not looking
I
at
think
matchups,
I believe in the matchup, but at Sauce, I think he stays on one side of the field. He doesn't go from left to right, and he doesn't play. Amon Ra will play the Z, the X, and the Y. He's all over the place. So
yeah, I know. I mean, so I mean, yeah,
I think
I just,
I think he'll get his getting away from Sauce. Or when Sauce is on him, Sauce is on him, or
I mean, I
Amon
just
Ra's
think,
not gonna
yeah,
get nothing.
like I just think, you know,
But then again,
will Jameson Williams get more play? Will Shark get like? I feel definitely
one of
good
them
about
will.
starting golf, but so but that means I can't feel good about telling you to start either one of them. I mean, maybe in
Mhm.
your flex if you have to, but not Williams or Shark. I would say Chark for sure because he's gonna eat either way. I think DJ
Yeah,
Shark will eat.
I think Chark would be a solid candidate for a flex this week. Just like last week.
Or wide receiver too, if you have to. I mean, I
He's
think
a
you
link.
could put up.
He's a tall, big target, but he's also deceivingly fast.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, he's been good since he was with the Jaguars, and he had fucking Gardner Minshew. So I like DJ Shark. So like yeah,
Another guy I would recommend in the flex is he's available in most
we
waiver
start
wires.
Swift as well, but Elijah Moore. Okay,
Elijah Moore. He's been on my radar like over the last few weeks.
so if you have more
Fantasy
and you
points
like
wise.
more and you like Wilson, you're probably leaning more towards Mike White. But
Yes.
yeah, so I don't know. Once again, we encourage all people watching to send us questions if they want. But
But yeah, he
anyways,
got 10, he's gotten 16 targets over the last couple of weeks with Mike White in, and he had 10 last week. So um
all right,
Mike
sneaky
White is gonna be
start
feeding the
Elijah.
ball.
Yeah, sneaky start Elijah Moore because Zach Wilson sucks so much he would throw it to his wide receivers. Hey, things happen.
Yeah.
All
All
right.
right. So we got where are we? We got Cowboys and Jags.
Ooh, man. I mean, you want to start a lot of people on the Jags based off of how Trevor Lawrence played last week
Mm-hmm.
and how things kind of came together. I like Doug Peterson, everything that they're kind of doing. But I don't know. I actually think it might be kind of. I mean, it might actually be kind of a sneaky game because something about the Cowboys are like after how they played against the Texans, they seem kind of ripe for taking down, but
Mm-hmm.
it's still I just don't think it'll be so much of an offensive game,
Well, I'm sure
So
the Jags are watching that tape from last week to see where the holes were, how they can game plan this week. So there's gonna be a lot of what's it called? Mimicking, but I just I don't see it to because they're more of a passing team. Etienne is a smaller back. He can't bruise that defensive line for
yeah.
the Cowboys.
So yeah,
So
it's gonna be tough sledding for them. Michael Parsons got just some shit talking, but all right. So we got another question here.
he's got to stop that shit talking. You're getting himself
Yeah,
in trouble.
yeah. Don't give him bulletin board material. So said Amari Cooper didn't practice this week, so I guess I made my statement earlier about starting Amari. If anybody there. Saquon Barkley practice. If you flex, who's DPJ? Isn't that Damian Pierce Jr.?
Hmm?
He says would you flex DPJ, Barkley, or Zonovan Knight?
I don't know who DPJ is.
I'm not sure who DPJ is either.
It's not Damian Pierce because Damian Pierce is out.
I know he's out, so he wouldn't suggest it, but it's only I know he's Damian Pierce Jr. That's the only thing I can think of. But Donovan Peoples Jones. Thank
No,
you,
that
Zah.
guy.
I mean, that's actually not. I mean, yeah, he's their top receiver without Cooper, but we were already skeptical about suggesting Cooper just because Deshaun Watson has
He did
still
hurt his
not
hip.
figured it
He
out.
did hurt his hip last week. So he didn't practice today, but they're anticipating that he will play. So to what extent, I don't know.
This is
But
actually kind of tough.
I still wouldn't depend on Donovan Peoples Jones.
I'm saying I almost want to suggest Knight.
I would probably suggest Knight.
Because Barkley, like, all right, look, as you see this Redskins flag behind me here, like they're gonna play. Like Saquon didn't play much last week. He's been injured, and it depends on if he's gonna be fully healthy to play this week. But every time when he plays and he's healthy, like if you want a sneaky start this week, fucking start Daniel Jones. Some reason Daniel Jones and the Giants, they always play. It doesn't care how many first round draft picks that the fucking Washington Commanders have, and how good the defense is top six, and they haven't given up more than 20 points and whatever. Yeah, okay, we had a tie. We didn't score more. We haven't given up 20 points in a whole bunch of weeks. And that has nothing to do with it. Somehow, fantasy wise, Giants players do. It's hard for me to tell you to not start Saquon Barkley because for some reason, even though how good because it's the division games or whatever, right? Just like the Commanders, just like the Commanders beat the Eagles a few weeks ago. They had no fucking clue. Like, how did this happen? Like, what's going on? Why do they win? Whatever. Like, things that don't make sense happen in NFC East. That's what made it so entertaining for so many years. I'm glad it's finally back to being decent. But I would start Barkley. Barkley scored a touchdown 2 weeks ago against the Commanders. I would be willing to bet. At one point, the Giants were averaging 7 yards per carry up until about the third quarter against the Commanders. And I think the only reason it didn't is because the Commanders, weirdly enough, lead the entire league in time of possession. They just kept them off the field, so they couldn't run as much anymore. But yeah, I can't tell you this to start Jonathan White over over Barkley. Start your horses. You go with your horses. Fucking Saquon Barkley has horse thighs, so fucking just trust him. I don't know. Yeah, definitely start him. Yeah, so Barkley it is. All right, man. We still got one more. A few more.
No, we got
our
Dallas.
guests. We got our guests coming.
We got Dallas first. We got Dallas side. So we got. Would you start Zeke?
Yeah, you start Zeke Pollard every week if you got to in the flex.
CD
somehow. Yeah, start CD.
Start Dak.
Unless you got better options, like I said, I would start Dak below Kirk Cousins or Justin Fields, as we were talking about earlier. But I mean, it's just a lot of injured players. Like, if you had Lamar Jackson earlier, you had Kyler Murray, or you had other people that you drafted higher or around the same time to go off of them. Yeah, I mean, you definitely want I mean, you pretty much have to start Dak. I think.
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, he's top 15.
All right, we got one more quick game before we reach Element kind of coming onto the pod. So we got the Chiefs and the Texans, which is going to be wouldn't say a blowout because we thought the Cowboys would destroy them last week, but the Texans find some ways to always hang around in games as well. They don't get blown out either.
I mean, I don't know who you start on the Texans.
Nobody.
All right. So Zai has a little more, he has a few more questions for us. He's told the whole lineup.
Oh, okay.
He has Jalen Hurts obviously start.
Mhm.
He has Mike Williams, Tyler Lockett, then he has Eckler, Josh Jacobs, Barkley, which is
Ooh,
the most just crazy
that's
running backs.
disgusting.
You must be in like an 8 or 10 person league. But then he has Schultz as his tight end, is fine
That's the
enough.
weak point. Okay.
Yeah. But he didn't mention he has Deontay Foreman as a running back, which Deontay Foreman is a much better than Peoples Jones or Knight in the flex to me. So you have Foreman, Damian Harris, who's injured. So he's in the playoffs. I mean, I might start. It would be a good segue to get into the next one. I mean, I might start Foreman. I don't know. We're about to talk about the Panthers Steelers game. Guess sick for that, but he also has T Higgins.
Oh man.
So I would probably start T.
I would start T Higgins over
Lockett or
what's the other one?
he has Mike Williams and Tyler Lockett.
I would set him over Lockett.
Yep, I would start him over Lockett for sure. Maybe I would start Dante Foreman over Barkley. I mean, but you probably can't because I think Josh Jacobs might be injured. That's why people are
Yeah.
So I mean you probably have to start Barkley and Foreman. But right. So we were at the Texans and whom?
The Chiefs. So we're just
Right.
talking about Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, pretty much.
Yeah, who else? Yeah,
That's
and
the show.
Kelce.
Oh, Juju had a good week last week. And what's it
Yeah,
called?
Juju.
McKinnon as well.
Yeah,
But
McKinnon has been drafted or been picked up in about 58% of leagues now. His roster.
So he wouldn't be a bad
Hold on,
pickup this week.
Yeah. Yeah. So all right. How many more
All right.
ones? Just one more before?
This is This is gonna be it, right?
All right. Should I admit our
Yes,
good friend
sir.
here? Joshua. Yeah. So yeah, so shit, I feel like I should have got a graphic up for the Steelers Panthers. Especially
What's
since I knew
good?
all the way before.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
All right,
Loud and
awesome.
clear.
Indeed. What's going on?
First of all, thank you for inviting me on, and I'm happy to be here. Really good time every Wednesday to get to step in and listen to my boy Boxhead's ideas on fantasy football. But I'm kind of broken that none of you have made the playoffs, man.
Hey, well, I was steering in that direction. I won 4 in a row, and then Cooper Kupp got injured, and injuries happen, and things. Just pull away. It's hard when you're missing some of those horses to
pull the wagon,
your whole sled. Yep, exactly. Yeah. Gotta pull that fucking wagon, man.
I feel that.
But every Wednesday we try to take questions. So if anybody's, sometimes we get people in the chat. Sometimes it gets busy. Sometimes it's a ghost room in there. But we encourage anybody to give us questions, man. But
sorry about the wait, Element. I know you've been sitting in that waiting room for quite some time.
Oh man, no worries. I told you I was prepared and ready. I usually don't do anything Wednesday nights. I'm usually streaming myself, but
okay,
like I said, I do try to catch you guys on before I do that.
All right. So what do you usually stream, man? Like your little setup there, like your mic.
Oh no, I appreciate it. This is a Blue Yeti itself, nothing special. I think most streamers start off with a Yeti and then try to update
Work
it,
your
right?
way up. Yeah, I got
Uh,
this is a blue mic too.
okay.
Yeah, we're the blue family here. I got a blue Yeti. I
Uh,
got a blue Yeti as well.
yeah,
So
see, so I mean,
Oh
I don't
shit!
have any issues with it, you know.
I
All
love
right,
it, man.
this right here in the edit is where I should add iPhone 65 in the background.
But no, I usually stream a lot of Apex, but you know, overall, try to branch out of different games. Lately, I've been playing more Marvel Snap and Marvel Midnight Suns that just came out recently as well.
Yeah,
And then
that's what's up.
go ahead. Sorry.
I was saying that's what's up. He was well, I was watching some of the videos with the Drunken Master, and he was playing the Marvel games. And I was like, oh man, I need to get back into it and all this streaming, and I envy it.
Yeah.
I just got out of it. I used to play League of Legends.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I used to. I mean, I don't used to. I play it on the side. I play more TFT.
Okay.
But I usually play that off stream. I don't get a lot of interest, I guess, with people coming in and wanting to check that out.
I mean, I guess you got to be pretty top tier in those games for people to
yeah,
get on
really
top of
want to.
that.
Yeah.
But man, I fucking love it. But I guess let's break it down. I mean, it's mainly fantasy here, but since you're here, I think it's fine for us to do a whole game preview.
Okay.
Back and forth. I'll try to be like the moderator in between, like the Panthers and the Steelers,
Yeah.
in case. I know you guys can't like fight each other through the Zoom, but maybe verbally.
I don't think there's any fight. I think I've known Boxhead for more than a year, and we usually talk about sports every once in a while, and usually more just kind of lurking and hanging out with them. But yeah, I don't think there's like a rivalry, like, I've never really been like that to where Panthers suck or whatever. I think I was really excited to see when they got Baker Mayfield, but unfortunately that didn't work out.
Hey, it works out. Maybe it's working out for the Rams, but
yeah, exactly.
As far as the quarterback, things is working out for you really well. To me, is not really well. I know as a Steelers fan, I have other friends that are Steelers fans. Some seem conceited, like, oh, this is the worst year ever, and how could they do this to us? And I'm like, look, man,
they didn't live through Maddox years. Yeah, it's been 18 years.
Yeah, like I mean, your current head coach has never had an actual statistical losing season yet. So I'm like, all right, just suck it up and be happy, because I like Kenny Pickett.
Oh, me too, man.
I hope finally, I mean, he's from Pittsburgh. He's a homeboy. Like, he's a hometown kid. I liked him when he was coming out, and I hope someday he'll do a fake slide and score a touchdown in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, I think there was a lot of pressure there, of course. Like you said, it's been 18 years since I've personally experienced a bad season with the Steelers. Even I think there was one year when Big Ben was hurt, we still were managed to salvage it still and not have quote unquote a losing season. It's just a lot of I think a lot of what do you call it, spoiled Steeler fans. They don't remember the Maddox years. They don't remember the years before that. And again,
I remember Neil O'Donnell. I remember
that.
Actually, Cordell Stewart, Neil O'Donnell. Actually,
he was fun. He was fun to watch.
Years.
And even back then, even our backup, we had Charlie Batch. I think.
Oh yeah, I remember Charlie Batch.
Yeah. Man, that guy.
I've always never worried about having him step in to close the game out.
Charlie Batch is Black Ryan Fitzpatrick. He just
yeah. I mean, like I said, a lot of fans having experiences. Having a bad. I mean, I had Mitch's back a lot at the beginning. We should have easily won that Ravens game. But he threw 3 picks, two in the red zone. When if we had walked away with 6 points, we would have been winning by 3 at the end. They ran all over us, but again, look at it. They only scored 16 points, barely. And I guarantee you, this week that game plan is gonna be a little tighter. So I don't think Hubble's gonna have a nice little, a repeated game of this year this last week, because I know he dropped about 15 points.
Oh, you saying the Steelers defense is gonna chew Chuba Hubbard up and spit him
Yeah,
out?
I guarantee you,
They're
Mike
gonna-
Tomlin's not going to let
I,
you.
I, I actually agree. I don't think Chuba is going to be able to run against this this front line of the Steelers. TJ Watt and company are
I'm telling you.
they're pretty good. At least run defense wise, they're pretty good. So like
This last week was really shocking. You know, like I said, again, you know, J.K. Dobbins with 120 yards.
Mhm.
You know, I was very, you know, upset. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, you know, even at that, we still only lost by
2 points.
2 points. You know what I mean? Like I said, if Mitch hadn't thrown those 2 red zones, you know, we would have been up by 4.
Those would have given you 6 points. Yeah. So
Yeah.
you know if he was playing
And-
smart.
Yeah, I don't know exactly. I don't know exactly what he's trying to do. You know, I think it's kind of said that Kenny's going to keep the job no matter what, unless he's trying to prove other teams to sign him next year. But I mean, that's not the way to do it. I mean, just forcing throws that didn't make sense. You know, so you know, this week really depends if Kenny starts or not.
I think Kenny will be there.
Yeah.
You hope. I mean, they're being a little strict with the concussion stuff, right?
Yeah, exactly. Especially
So-
after what happened with Tua this year. So
Yeah, and you know he's a rookie. There, you know, you might have to start Mitch. You really don't want to, but at least Mitch won't leave his team like a bitch, like Marcus
that's
Mariota.
true. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Marcus
And it's-
Mariota just left.
Yeah, I read that. I didn't really read too much to follow up on when you guys were talking about that. I did read it that it was a rumor that he had just left, but I didn't know how severe it was until you guys brought it up again today. And I'm like, damn, that guy really just took off, you know?
Yeah,
it was
Walked
like,
out of the building, right? He just
I
walked
was
out.
I was reading, and they said that even though he was going to be on IR, they were expecting him to, you know, be on the sideline to don the headset to help
He just said,
Ritter
"Fuck it."
out, you know. But he's like, you know,
Yeah.
he just, you know, took a plane, went home, and, you know, he said, "Fuck it, I'm out for the season."
Man, that's good to like, you know, I'm a Redskins fan. So I get to like Carson Wentz is back and he's healthy. He's gonna sit there and collect all of his fucking check and shut the hell up, like the way you're supposed to. Like he's not happy he's not coming back in as a starting quarterback, but I mean,
I've always been a
part of your
fan of
contract.
Heineke, honestly. I think if he actually they gave him a chance, a good year instead of just like going back and forth. I think Heineke could really show his skills.
I think we'll be 9-3-1 if Heineke started the fucking season.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I've
Like,
always enjoyed him.
I
playing.
think this 2 games we could have won more, like that Wentz straight up lost, where you know the team just couldn't keep up with whatever their nonsense was.
Yeah.
And and it's perfect. He's like it's kind of weird that it's almost built kind of like we're like to me the 49ers light, like a budget version, like good defensive line, all right, defense, quarterback, yeah. And then some good, like Terry McLaurin's a really good wide receiver. If he had a good like quarterback, he'd be, you know, talked about a lot more. And you know, he's not exactly, you know, Deebo Samuel, whatever. I think it's a little fucked up that the 49ers in the middle of the goddamn season traded to the Panthers and got Christian McCaffrey. They're like, hey, let's just give you your childhood
a dream team.
Yeah, dream. Like, yeah, let's just make
That
all
was
your
shocking. That was
yeah, I
shocking.
mean,
I think I hit box really quick, and I don't know if you knew the news as soon as I said it. to you.
No, I knew it instantly because
Oh, okay.
I have every single alert on for anything
Okay.
Panthers, and I get it instantly.
And look, this is a rare occasion that I think maybe for both teams,
it worked out.
everybody wins.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if y'all continue the way you're on like now, if maybe he's there. I don't know. Maybe it's just like a whole thing.
No, the when he was here, we depended literally
Yes.
just on him. The offense was entirely him.
Exactly.
So there was a stat that went around when he was here before the trade. We were averaging 83 yards rushing a game. Since he's left, we're averaging close to 150. And there's
It's
been two
because you
times.
guys
Where,
are
there's
using
been
other
two
people.
times.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's been 2 times where we've topped 225. So Deontay Foreman is a very big back. You know,
Yeah, and
he pushes the line.
it's actually open, I think a coach's book to be like, hey, let's play other people instead of just
Mhm.
focus all on Christian. It's the
Mhm.
same with, like we talked earlier about the Lions trading TJ Hawkinson, which was also a shock. But since then, they've been, I think, 6-1 since that trade. The Vikings have been 5-2, so that trade worked out for both of them as well. But it's just crazy how that one player can kind of
Yeah.
just free up
But
the.
but we're not gonna see the fruits of the labor of that trade until
Yeah.
you guys got draft picks. Good about
Yeah.
good haul for that.
So
So
yeah,
like next
Panthers. I mean,
year,
Panthers are going to be, pretty set
yeah,
for a couple years if they
and,
can
and the
pick right. If they can draft right,
If we
right?
can draft right, yes. We
yeah,
got that offensive line set now. All those years that I've been asking for an offensive line for when Cam was here. If we had an offensive line in 2018 when we started off 6-2 before the TJ Watt hit,
Yeah.
things could be different because we
Okay.
never invested in an offensive line, not even Cam, because Ron Rivera believed that Cam could get himself out of anything.
It's the same here. Same here on the opposite. It's cornerbacks for the Steelers. It's the secondary. We finally got Fitzpatrick, but right now we're still struggling trying to fit the other pieces in there. So I think Panthers might have a really good chance, airing it out. I think with like any team playing the Steelers, it just really depends how our front seven hits the, can pressure the quarterback. But that's definitely something you might want to think about this week. Maybe starting the wide receivers for the Panthers, and then the Steelers. The biggest dogs on those teams is Pickens. I think I've been telling Box that since we drafted him. He got like they say, he got the dog in him.
Okay,
he does got the dog in him.
I wanted to ask you as a Steelers fan.
Yeah.
You bring up Pickens because he obviously seems to be the darling now, man. What's your thoughts on Deontay Johnson? Like, is he
honestly? He's been there 3 years, and it's been up and down. Obviously we've been trying to recover since the AB fiasco, the Le'Veon Bell fiasco. It's so weird as a Steelers fan for the past 7-8 years. We either have an amazing offense and a shitty defense. And now it looks like we're having an amazing defense and a shitty offense. And it's been like up and down for some reason. We can never hit the ball. I think a lot of people, you guys lost Le'Veon. It's over. But a lot of people don't, if you're really look into it, a lot of people don't realize is when we lost Shazier is when everything kind of started falling apart for a little bit. Shazier was an amazing linebacker, from sideline to sideline. We won, we won a playoff game against the Bengals, easily because he was able to, force turnovers when we needed it. And it's not until we, finally got TJ Watt and finally started putting pieces back together in the defense is when we started losing our offense. And again, we can't blame too much on the Le'Veon miss, because I mean that's when James Conner came in, and that next year he had 1,000 yards easy. And again, we're just trying to figure out the pieces. And now that we're kind of restarting hard set, Deontay Johnson steps in. It's 1 year, he was had the most drops. That was one of the biggest stats. Next year he has I think 118 or 115 catches with like 0 to maybe 4 drops or something. Increased his productivity. And then this year it's like I think he has about 6 drops. I remember seeing a graphic pretty recently, and still saying he has a low drops. But if again, because I'm a Steeler fan, I watch it. These drops are critical. These are third downs. There's a couple drops I think he had where we could either got the first down or even a touchdown. So yes, he has the capabilities, but at the same time, I feel like we're investing too much.
So is Pickens a number one, or is like? Because Deontay Johnson, he slides up as a number one. Pickens coming in too.
I think because of his sorority, Deontay Johnson's going to be on that top of the list right now.
He was even when Chase Claypool was there,
and I was going to bring that up too when
maybe Claypool.
Sorry, when we trade. No, you're right. I was really supportive of Claypool as well. He has when we went 11-0, he had a lot of that was his rookie year. He had a lot of great catches, a lot of great potential. But again, I'm not too sure if there's more issues in the locker room. And, that's why it was easily to trade him Then Dante, because a lot of people were talking about Dante going to the Packers at the beginning of the year. And it's just tough. It's tough trying to choose. I mean, even when we had AB, I don't think a lot of people remember we had even Emmanuel Sanders, and we had to choose Emmanuel Sanders or AB. And I remember that time I was like, no, we
And
gotta go
Sanders
AB.
left.
Yeah, I mean, and
AB,
Sanders had a comfortable, career as well. You know what I mean?
yeah, he did.
He had a really good stint. I think with Denver was the biggest one.
I
I think
believe he won. He won a Super Bowl with Denver, and then he almost won a Super Bowl with the 49ers, I believe.
And a lot of like I said, a lot of people forget. I don't think a lot of people remember that. Like I said, we had AB and Emmanuel Sanders, and we had to choose one. And we went with AB that year, and it's just again it's the locker room stuff we don't know. Like I said, stuff came out after. Coach Tomlin gave AB pretty much the keys to the organization. So I mean, a lot of people didn't realize that he did a lot. He got away with a lot, but only because his talent allowed him, quote unquote.
Yeah,
and I think that's where we lost it.
I think even before then, I believe they're all three at one point. Like you're still even selling it short. There was AB, there was Emmanuel Sanders, and wasn't there Santonio Holmes?
Mm-hmm.
No, you said
that was before. That was before.
Was that right?
It was like right before.
Two of them, I believe it was Antonio and Antonio. Like at first, it was Antonio and Hines Ward.
Yeah.
Then I believe Antonio Brown came in.
I think Brown was there honestly,
with Santonio.
but he wasn't. I think he was just a special returner.
Right.
I can't remember that much.
Yeah, but then there's something where like, okay, well, AB's about to be that, and they got rid of Santonio.
Yeah.
And then they got Emmanuel Sanders, like I believe, and that's around in that same part. So like the wide receiver core,
we've been fine. I mean, we've been fine since then. Honestly, like I said, a lot of people, didn't. I mean, I think a lot of people look over the right side's year's injury and not really seeing.
Okay, all right, what is it? All right, what special like goat sacrifice or like praying to a weird deity do y'all do to get the most likable seemingly unathletic white tight end every single time?
That's what I'm saying. That's actually
the white tight end.
Yeah, that's what I was going to bring up.
Beast, though, man.
That's actually what I was going to bring up. Obviously this game, can be seen as like a really low, game in regards to fantasy. But the two people that I've always, the two people I'm going to really pay attention to is the Pickens and Fairmouth. Heath Miller, just a staple. Just love Heath Miller. Just giving you, when it comes to tight ends,
tight ends so clutch. You need a first down, pass it to Heath.
And so definitely when it comes to tight ends in fantasy football, it's the same as running backs. You're gonna have a handful to choose from. And that's why you want to really be able to draft. If you get a high pick, you want to make sure you draft a running back. Because at the end of the day, you're not gonna get lucky and be able to get somebody like Pollard to produce as a second string running back. And
he's
then
a handcuff that turned into RB1. A handcuff that turned into RB1.
It's insane because I say that because I had Pollard, and he's had 40-point games as considered a second string running back.
Yeah, I know.
What else? Tight ends, like I said, back in the day, it was all about Gronk and maybe a couple more. And now you got Kelsey, you got Andrews, you got one more at least. I'm trying to think. It's just not a lot of tight ends. Greg Kittle, Greg Kittle. Yeah, he had
there's not many. It's like
but he hasn't really been
George
on fire
Kittle,
this year either.
Yeah,
But
you can't put him on one finger or on one hand.
But for sure, you want your tight end to at least get you 6-7 points a game. And and that's asking at least a touchdown a game, and that's really hard in this league because you're really focused on.
I mean, Farmer's top 10.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Moving forward and in the future, these that's a tight end you want to keep in mind. If you ever find yourself, I think I ended up drafting him in the 8th round in my main league, and he's been productive. I can't complain. Like I said, right now they have him ranked in this league as number 6 tight end.
He's number 5 actually
for yours,
top 5, which is great.
Okay. Yeah. So like I said, these are the two dogs I would consider in the future.
Yeah, I guess what are the
Pickens and Fairmouth.
Yeah. I was gonna say I was looking at the tight. I'm like, there's Kelsey, there's Mark Andrews, and then there's what Hawkinson.
That third one
Yes.
is interchangeable every week. So
Yeah.
you never
Yeah,
know
That's
who's going to
crazy.
be.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
Well, last week
and
you saw Evan Ingram have the game of his
yeah,
life.
insane,
and-
right? 40 points. I think he ended up beating me. I mean, I'm still in the playoffs, luckily, but damn, like, who would have saw Ingram getting freaking 40 points, right?
Yeah,
And
right.
that's what I'm saying. It's so weird with tight ends. You're gonna have your, at least your guaranteed.
And we
top.
all, I mean, I honestly thought that Kyle Pitts would be a top three tight end this year.
Oh,
But
that's
he's
definitely
been-
right. That's
he's
who I was
been
thinking. He got
absolutely
hurt.
terrible.
Yeah, and then he ended up getting hurt. That's who I was thinking of.
Yeah.
But
Kyle
yeah, I
Pitts
mean that's
doesn't-
for me on. I mean, in this game for sure. Fantasy wise, I think this game you're not gonna get a lot of fantasy stars or fantasy output, but I think the stars to watch at least for the Steelers are for sure Pickens and Fairmouth.
Yep. Pickens, Firemouth. Harris. What's up with him?
I'm not too sure. Again, it's the same with the Matt Canada offense. Hearing a lot of stories of last year with Ben Roethlisberger, not giving.
Yeah, I
him
want to
the-
ask.
Go ahead.
As a you're obviously a devoted Steelers fan, so I want to I was asked this to a Baltimore fan too as well. Like, are you like a little annoyed with the how old school your offensive coordinator seemingly that is?
I mean, it's hard. You mean, like I said, even like I said, a Baltimore Ravens fan or a Baltimore team, you got Lamar Jackson, and at the end of the day, it's a run first quarterback. I see this. I see Lamar Jackson at least guaranteed twice a year. Not this year,
Yeah.
but even at that against us, he does not have good stats with us. So, for me, as experience, I'm not worried I'm not worried when we, have to play Lamar, even this past week, they, Huntley is, kind of like supposed to be a clone of Lamar a little bit, to be able to,
Totally
reproduce. But again, he didn't do too well. They ran all over our faces, and that's something that I was shocked of. And then again, we still only lost by 2 points. I'm a little annoyed. He's not allowing. I don't think he's given Kenny an opportunity to really evolve right now, and that's his first year, obviously. But even last year, you have a guy like Ben Roethlisberger, and you're telling them that he's not able to audible out. That's ridiculous, man. That's ridiculous. You
especially for a veteran quarterback who's been there forever.
Exactly.
You gotta.
There are
bend
many
some straws
games
somewhere.
There are many games these last years with Big Ben is when he was in the 2-minute offense, quote unquote, and calling the plays. He was chopping people up. He was able to, it's night and day. You know what I mean? But like I said, if the year they won 11-0, man, he looked young. He was doing what he needed to do and getting the ball where it needed to be. And unfortunately, a lot of energy is caught up, and everybody just, we lost gas at the end.
So just as a fan, would you at the end of the season get a new offensive coordinator?
For as young as Kenny is, yes, I would. Just try to hopefully
Pick
not get
somebody
stuck.
that fits who he is, player specifically.
Exactly. I mean, if we don't, we're gonna stunt his growth, and he's just gonna end up.
I agree.
Yeah, go ahead.
I agree.
You can't get rid of Tomlin, but
your team is so
you should
young.
get a better-
Offensively, you have a really good young core. You need someone
Exactly. You got Harris.
within the times to come in and lift that offense. If you're going to bring old school ideas to a young crew that with a game that's evolving, you're not going to be successful.
No, it's fine. It works well in that division. It's perfect. You have Harris, you have Pickett, and you have
a great tight end. You have great two wide receivers. Like I said, Dante's not bad, but
you got a top tier defense. You just run the ball down people's throats.
Oh yeah, man. That defense, like I said, hopefully we can find one more. Like I said, when Joe Harden came in too, that was a guy that I wanted us to draft, and the freaking Browns picked him up like 3-4 picks in front of us.
Yeah,
and then again without Joe Harden, I'm sorry,
Hayden, you're right.
I'm sorry. We would probably would have never beaten Tom Brady for once. You know what I mean? He had that clutch pick. I still remember because we don't beat Tom Brady a lot. In that past 18 years. but because we had at least a cornerback to be able to help out, it was nice to see that happen before he left to the Bucks, right, to get an easier division and easier schedule for him. But that's one thing hopefully in the future that we focus on as a secondary, and then of course a couple of linemen here and there. I think that's what we're just hopefully missing to make it a nice, well-rounded team. But yes, I definitely agree. I think we need to remove that offensive coordinator before we just stunt his growth. I think right away when Kenny came in, it was a huge difference in moxie and morale. I mean, I think his first game.
You start. I don't know why you don't start from the beginning. I would say for the Falcons, Twan knows. I've been saying this. Like, I would have started Desmond Ridder. Like, why start Mariota? Like, why start Mr. Trubisky? We've seen what they can do.
I think it was just Mike Tomlin being smart. He's giving himself a scapegoat. Hey, you know what? We try and mix.
Absolutely, but it's being smart.
And that's why
to himself. It's being smart on the fans. His fans would have been like, I don't know if we could, because like for some reason,
what I'm saying. Now, and then even now, like even this last week, we lost because of Mitch. Easy.
Yeah.
We lost because of Mitch. I can say that personally. Defense may have gotten their throat stuffed in, but again, they still only scored 16 points.
Yeah, they you guys hate Mason Rudolph so bad, but how much worse would have been?
Oh, I even put it in my AFC Facebook group. I said it's so bad we should have. And I hate Mason Rudolph. I don't like the kid. I never enjoyed his gameplay.
Every Steelers fan I've met
that's fine.
Hates that dude's guts.
And yeah, it was so bad this weekend. I was like,
it's because I would have rather. It's because he tried to fight Myles Garrett. Is that why?
I think he gained some popularity after that.
After that, okay.
Right. But no. But it was so bad that I was like, damn, like I wish we had Rudolph, but he's fucking inactive. And now I'm eating my words because this is a game that we could have easily won.
Yeah, and
I was reading an article where they were saying that if Tomlin made the decision to make Mason Rudolph active for that game and not Mitch Trubisky, that they probably would have won last week.
Probably, yeah. Like I said, I don't know what was in Mitch's head, just trying to force game throws that weren't in there.
But that's you guys. That's Tomlin biting his tongue.
Yeah,
things he thinks. But again,
I think
do
like I said,
to not make the fan base angry. It's like, okay, all right, like.
Again, I as a fan, I started supporting with Mitch, honestly, because I didn't want to have a rookie in there right away to, maybe lose morale or just, it's very delicate, switching over to a rookie. And, you don't want to, look at the Johnny Manziel thing, everybody thought he was going to be the savior and he just busted, it just straight up nosedived. And again, at the end of the day, you look at the organization, it is the Browns, but still, like, Baker, came in a little bit later, and that's why I believe in Baker a little bit more, because he's able to take that Browns team and put some moxie in it,
almost beat Mahomes.
Exactly. So, and it's just something, it's just really, it's a delicate situation, It's just, I think Kenny has the what's called the mechanics to strive in the league, but again, it really depends as well. With the offensive coordinator, and again, it didn't work with Mitch at the beginning very, very well, and the only reason we beat the Bengals because our defense was, on the grade A, grade A defense, and we ended up, that was our, best game so far this year, I think, and then, just kind of like, hoping the defense plays like that every game, and it's not going to happen. Your defense still needs, your offense still needs to do something.
I missed the question,
and it's going nowhere. But yeah,
hey,
go for it.
So all right, I don't know if you want to stay on, but we're starting to get a little long here. We need to finish
I know.
4 o'clock. If you want to stay on as we do the 4 o'clock games, it's up to you, sir.
Yeah, I'm down for whatever you guys are comfortable with. But yeah, that's I don't know if Boxhead wants to talk about his Panthers. I think he talked a lot.
Do we want to just peruse that question real quick, or?
Well, yeah, the people have logged up, but we can peruse the question. Maybe they'll check it later. What flex should I start? Should it be Jalen Waddle? Christian
No.
Watson,
Yes.
I'll go Watson all the way.
or Devontae Smith?
Oh
that's-
man, that's
Who do the
a,
Eagles got again?
the Eagles got the Bears.
Chicago, and then
Ah.
Watson. I think I go Watson. That's the Rams. Oh, you got Jalen Ramsey actually.
I would go Devontae Smith.
Yeah, I think
Out of those
Devontae
three.
Smith would be the heavy favorite.
Second, he said
If he's in your
also.
flex, I want to know who your other two wide receivers
All
are.
All right, so tight end, should he start George Kittle or Evan Ingram?
That's another. I mean, again, we're all eyes wide open because of last week, but I don't think Ingram's gonna
Ingram.
get another.
No,
Yeah,
I don't think
that's
he's gonna have that
Dallas
again.
actually.
Not
So
against
no,
Dallas.
Dallas,
I
right?
don't think so.
So I'm going with who was it? George Kittle.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would go Kittle.
or the last one, which we already know the answer to this too. We were earlier. Cousins or Tua?
Oh, Cousins.
Cousins.
Yep. Hey, we're all in agreement here.
All right.
Yeah, so let's move
Oh, yeah.
on to the
Element.
4 o'clock.
Wait. Thanks for your insight on your Steelers. You're absolutely
okay.
correct. There's not going to be much fantasy production on any side. It's going to be a very down in the trenches kind of game. Going to be both sides. I see going to be trying to run the ball, eat some clock, and just try and get as many yards. Play the field position game, and it might be like one of those like 13-10, 16-13 kind of games. It's just basically who's gonna
Make a
tough it
mistake.
out. Yeah, make a mistake or tough it out. Both teams have turnover prone quarterbacks.
Yeah, I think like I said, I think DJ
Start
Moore.
both defenses.
Yeah, I would start both defenses.
I do have the Steelers starting, but yeah, I think DJ Moore has the possibility.
The
of
edge.
Packers
Yeah,
to-
I was looking at your team's defense fantasy ratings for pass. You guys are you guys allow the
Yeah.
28th most fantasy
Yeah.
points. But the only problem is we have Sam Darnold who hasn't been allowed to really throw the ball yet this season. So I foresee the game plan being a lot of Deontay Foreman, toughing it out. And then
like I said, you never know. But
and then getting the play action game in because we haven't been doing that. We haven't been doing play action. We haven't been running slants or running go routes or posts. We've just been allowing Sam to not make a mistake and just lean on the run game. So he's going to have to throw the ball a little bit more in this game. If
like I said, I think it's gonna be a little. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a little tougher. I don't think Tomlin's gonna let the defense give up the run like they did last week because that's very uncharacteristic.
And there's
of
no
this
way
team.
that we're running for 250 on y'all. So,
But yeah,
But yeah,
I mean,
I would
moving
still,
Go
I would just start Deontay and DJ this week.
yeah. And again, for me, Pickens and Fairmouth, if you're really scraping the bottom of the barrel, if you guys if you're in the playoffs, but I don't think you'd have any really Steelers or Panthers players if you're in the playoffs, honestly.
Yeah. And Pickens versus JC Horn is going to be a very fun matchup.
Yeah, that's
Pickens
true.
is very, very, very physical. They're both of them very physical.
This man already has a highlight reel. Pickens alone for this year, man. The catches he's made this year, I'm still like, what the fuck did I just see?
Yeah, he has as many good catches as DeAndre Johnson has drops.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. So, like I said, moving forward, we'll see how this works out. Dante got signed. He got his freaking contract for I think the next 3 years. We got Pickens for 4 years, and then like I said, hopefully we use our picks for linemen and secondary.
Yeah,
right.
I would say for y'all, definitely just pick a bunch of linemen, run that fucking ball.
Yeah, but I think the next game for you guys is the Denver Arizona game.
Yep. Thank you, sir.
Indeed.
Oh man, that's a crapshoot of a game, really. Two
I
backup
just feel like
quarterbacks.
we
Two backup
should
quarterbacks.
Just skip it.
Just start
I don't know.
DeAndre Hopkins. That's it. That's all you need to know.
That and then James Conner. I'm not gonna lie, I've had James.
Oh, James
Conner.
Conner. Actually, yeah, that's a good start because they will be running the ball.
Yeah, James.
And it's
Conner.
Denver defense, I think Denver is just shit all around. So
Hey, this
No,
is look.
Denver's
Hey,
defense
these
is
are
actually
two-
one of the top pass defenses in the league. But
is that
Defense. Yeah, Denver has like a top 4 defense. And
Yeah, they have a
Russell
top
Well, that's what I'm
Wilson,
saying. James Conner. I mean, he's been producing, and again, I think running the ball is going to be.
That's why I
a little.
was weirded out about. I'm like, that's it. I was like, the only good part about this game is the Denver defense. Like the Cardinals defense is very good.
Mhm.
Now the offense is going to be very good. I would honestly say
But watch.
start the
Watch
Denver
Brett-
defense
Watch
and start-
Brett Rippon come in and show
And
that he's
Prudy, right, Mister Irrelevant.
no,
No,
Brett
no,
Rippon.
that's no Brett Rippon.
Brett Rippon is the backup
Purdy
quarterback
plays
for
the
Denver.
49ers.
So watch Brett
Quarterback,
Rippon
right?
come in. Yeah, watch Rippon come in and light it up.
And rip it up.
And rip it up. Good one. Good
All
one.
right, I'll bet you that the 2 kickers collectively have more fantasy points than the quarterbacks.
Well, I'm glad there's a worse. There's a worse game out there than our Panthers and Steelers.
Yeah, I mean,
And those are 2 teams that don't have any playoff hopes right now. All right, so my Panthers
Yeah.
at least have playoff hopes.
Same here,
Yeah.
bro. What are you talking about? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, we all have play. We're still in it.
I mean, I actually think it's odd that my team is the best one of the whatever. I don't know. I don't even know how that's like. You could have shot me in the like. You could put the gun to my
We all
head.
haven't lost a game in quite some time, so
I know we've only tied. So like 5, yeah,
It's
7
good,
weeks.
man. It's great, man.
7 weeks.
And,
Yeah,
it's crazy you
we
don't
haven't
you don't have Chase Young this season, right?
He's
He's
supposed to
coming
come
back
back
this
this week.
Oh, even better, man. It's I think he's. I love watching defense. I love watching kids like that.
Oh yeah, he's like getting TJ Watt back or
Yeah,
getting Michael
exactly.
Parsons
No,
back.
exactly.
Or
That's what I'm saying.
getting,
I love defense. I love the defensive side of the ball.
And
I
like,
love
and our
watching that.
defensive line was good without him. Like when he comes back, like that's why I call us a budget
you guys can be so fresh.
49ers. Like we're already a decent thing, but like think of all year the Niners just didn't have Nick Bosa.
Yeah.
Like now, like a lot of people were saying when they're at Ohio State that Chase was better than both Joey and Nick Bosa.
Oh
They were
wow.
saying he was better
Okay.
than that. They were
okay.
like, "Oh, he's better than that," but he played that well in his rookie year. Last year, his second year, he got injured, but man, it's taken him a long time to come back from the ACL injury.
Correct.
I feel like wide receivers come back quicker than
But didn't you have a player that got shot 4 times in his
Yeah, he
Brian
came
Robinson.
back. He got shot 4 times
He's so
this
good though,
summer.
man.
He
This summer and came back.
pulled a 50
Fucking-
cent, man.
Fuck yeah, yo, and fucking and fucking Chase Young has missed 20 games with the ACL tear. I'm like
20 games. I didn't even realize it's been that long, honestly.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
That's insane.
it missed
Insane.
over. Yeah, a season. So he got injured last year in week 7 or some shit like that. So
Damn.
he missed like those 11 games.
10 games, yeah, 11 games.
And
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 then
how is
Now
OBJ trying to
we're-
come back?
right? This man trying to pull one over the Dallas Cowboys. I read into that too, bro. I thought that was
Yo,
funny.
Oh,
20 million? What's he thinking? What crack, what drug was he on? I would like to purchase.
I
some.
think him
I
and
got
the
20
AB are in
million.
like a special wide receiver club or something, bro.
mm-hmm.
I don't know. Yeah, is it like domestic violence club or something? Or like
I'm not too sure, man.
I do peyote and meth. I don't know what these motherfuckers are smoking or thinking to be like, I want a $20 million contract that'll be paid for me throughout the last couple of games.
That's
And
insane.
he was like, he got hit in the head, and he was like, I'm 24 again. I was like, no, nobody's paying you that type of money, OBJ.
How would you get
Guys-
$20 million for 4 games?
That's
Well, he
crazy.
wanted a
That's
20 million.
insane.
I don't see. I heard he wanted a $20 million contract. I didn't know if it was for this year and next year, like 2-year. Which, all right, the crazier things have happened. I get it. Like, all right, giving him $10 million a year, it wouldn't fucking break my world. But if he gave him $20 million a year, that wouldn't I wouldn't even understand what the fuck is going on, and I would just.
Mhm.
I would just clap and laugh. I'm like, good job, Dallas, dumbasses. Take all your salary cap away. Like, yeah, take it away, give it away. Y'all traded away Amari Cooper. And we're like, let's give this washed up diva with 3 knee surgeries or whatever a bunch of money. So I mean, he didn't go. So they picked up T.Y. Hilton, but
Mhm.
let's continue. What's
All right, we got the Patriots and the
Vegas.
Raiders.
This one's
Patriots,
interesting.
Raiders. Definitely
For me personally, my MVP for my 2 leagues that I'm in playoffs of is Josh Jacobs. I ended up drafting him in I think the 5th round.
Yeah,
And I didn't, I
That's
really
a
didn't.
great pick.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't expect him to go off because I've, I think I've drafted him before in the past, but he's never really been this productive. So yes, I drafted him. Pick 12. I was the last pick in my draft, round 5. So this is definitely my MVP of the year, and this is kind of scary though because not a lot of people know this as well. New England's defense is rated 1 and 2. But yeah,
let's go back to the old graphic. You see here, Josh Jacobs right now leading the entire league in rushing yards.
1402.
You definitely don't want him to be injured.
Yeah, I got really scared last week when he left with his hand injury. I was like, "Fuck, man!" If he goes
apparently
out,
he also has a quad injury. So
he's been dealing with that for a while though.
Yeah.
So I've had him on my questionable list, but he's always going. The worst week is when he really popped off for those 48 points or so. So I think they do that as a precaution so he doesn't have to, because I think in the NFL they have to put like questionable so he doesn't have to fully practice or what have you. So I think they do that as a cautionary for to meet NFL guidelines. But the finger, yeah, that's scary because I mean I think we had somebody out with a pinky for like a year, and if you have an issue with your hand, you're gonna have fumble issues as well, right? If you're hurting.
I know. I mean, yeah. I mean,
I
guess it'd be better for you. Like if you have pinky injuries, you just be like, Jason Pierre-Paul, just not have fingers,
right?
If your fingers are gone, then they can't be listed on IR.
Right. But that was a really scary. That was really scary last week when that happened. I was like, "Fuck, man, not now," because I was at that point already in the playoffs. I just couldn't. I knew I couldn't lose Josh Jacobs for sure.
All right, so would you start? Derek Carr. Anybody is like he's a streaming option at this point. They did lose last week, but
that's tough, man. Again, I got Josh Jacobs, so I'm really happy, and I also have Devontae Adams. And I did this only because he had a chemistry with Carr, and it's paid off. I think this past week was his worst. I think this past week was his worst out of the year. He only produced 10 points. And then against New Orleans, he dropped 1 point, basically. But other than that, it's been double digits. So it's really strange that Carr isn't producing as much as you would hope. But I think I would avoid Carr.
I would avoid him too.
Yeah.
New England's defense is fairly decent.
And that's what I was going to say. That's what I was saying too. A lot of people are not realizing New England is either one or 2.
They're a very good defense.
And then even last week they put up 21 points in my league at least.
Yeah. So the New England defense is they've allowed the 9th fewest points to quarterbacks.
And then Carr isn't producing.
No. So I would stay away from him.
I would if you I mean you'd be in trouble if you're thinking about starting Carr, honestly. I don't know if
Yeah, I agree with you. I was just asking the question.
Okay.
I agree. I don't think I was like, would you start him? I'm like, he's a streaming option. I mean, most people probably own him, but have just been disappointed in keeping him for a thing. But like, how many more times, can you start him as the year goes on? So I mean, is he basically drop fodder at this point?
No, yeah, easy. You probably have better luck finding a different quarterback in the waiver wires.
Yeah. So
I think there's only like really two guys you can really start literally.
So as you look here on the
I think it's Devontae Adams and Josh Jacobs easily for this team alone.
So you look at here, Devontae Adams, reception wise is 5th, and it's funny. Austin Eckler is 4th in receptions.
Yeah, I wish I
Uh,
was able to pick him up.
all the-
PPR
all the
Rose.
year.
Oh my lord. He's
You hear
Devontae Adams
just
is third in the league, and
yeah, man.
Devontae
Like,
Adams is third in
and
yards.
he's tied for touchdowns. Tied for the lead in
with
touchdowns.
Travis
He-
Kelsey.
hmm.
Travis Kelsey is that's a pick
That
of the
one
year.
4 TD game he had that killed me. That's where I lost. I
Oh,
was winning that
geez.
game too. And
Yeah.
he knew
But-
that he needed to score 4 to
Hey, can
ruin
we
my-
talk about? I'm sorry, I didn't want to ruin that segment, but can we talk about how just amazing Justin Jefferson?
Oh
I mean,
yeah, I had him last year,
it's-
man. I had him with Cooper Cup, so I won the
Right.
championship easy.
He is 100 yards from passing Stephon Diggs' yardage as a Viking. Stephon Diggs was on the team for like 6-7 years. This is like Justin
This is
Jefferson's
barely his fourth
third
year, I think.
This
Third?
is his third year. Yes,
Oh, yeah.
third year. He's at 1,500 yards this year. Already, he leads the league in yards. He has 1,500 yards right now. And
Yeah, look at those plus 20s, man.
And there's
25.
There's 4 games left. Yes, 25. Tariq Hill has 23. Justin Jefferson has more plus 20 than and the same amount as plus 40s as
the same.
Tariq Hill. It's crazy. Like, I mean, that's what makes Tua and Kirk Cousins decent fantasy prospects. And I
Mhm.
guess, right under there, I wouldn't have really thought it. Devontae with 20
Oh,
is a good
yeah.
amount. And 5 plus 40. And 12
Like I
touchdowns.
said, it's just so weird because Carr is not producing, but Devontae Adams is, and that's what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
man.
It's so easy. Like if you are not taking a negative because Carr threw an interception because of the next, you want the Raiders to be down so they can be passing it. As you're playing fantasy, like, oh yeah, score another 2 touchdowns. So the rest is pretty much what I call is garbage time. I think a lot of people say that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Like,
easy.
Devontae is in that. Devontae is in that DeAndre Hopkins area. Where It's just like doesn't matter who's whatever.
Who's throwing to him, he's gonna get it.
Doesn't matter. He's gonna
Yeah.
get his fucking points. Tariq Hill is there too. Doesn't matter who's quarterback.
And that
is.
was also one of my
Hills,
huge questions before is like if Tua can't get him the ball, then Tyreek is not going to do well. And I think I had a chance to pick up Tyreek, but I didn't because I was like, nah, I don't believe in Tua, and I'm biting my tongue for that too.
It doesn't matter. Right now, Tariq Hill with 100 receptions is
Yep.
leading the entire NFL in receptions. He had 100 receptions, and yeah, I mean, yeah, like you said, I know you're regretting that. So Tariq
Yeah.
Hill,
And then it's
Number
also,
one,
even looking at Cooper
for
Cup,
sure.
man, he's been out for what 4 weeks, and he's still
he's
up
still
there
down here. He's out for 4 weeks. He's still above CeeDee Lamb, Chris Godwin, DK Metcalf.
That's insane,
he's
man.
still up there, and that's why I was winning. I mean, he was having a great year.
I got lucky because I had a Cup and I was able to pick up Watson.
He's above, he's
Jamar
above
Chase,
AJ Brown, who hasn't
Yeah.
missed a game.
Yeah,
Fucking
even
you know,
Devontae Adams too. He hasn't missed a game either.
Yeah, Devontae Adams. Well, he's below Devontae Adams for sure. I was saying like
Oh, I didn't mean that. What's his name? Smith, Devontae Smith. I'm
no,
sorry.
Devontae
right
Smith.
above, that's my fault.
Devontae Smith, AJ Brown.
He hasn't missed a game either. That's just insane, man.
Both of these people, like none of these people have missed games. You go up to
And
fucking
Cooper Cup is
Cup,
still.
more touchdowns than some of them. Like same many touchdowns as a DK, and DK, has been playing with Geno Smith, who's had a complete resurgence. But hey, Twan, how many other games
We got
4 more.
4 more. We got 4 more.
All right, we got to wrap this up. Yeah, so
All right, so we got the Titans and the Chargers.
That's easy. Derrick Henry, Austin Eckler, Justin Herbert.
I say slight flexes for those. Then Mike Williams. Well, Keenan Allen. Of course, you start with him as well. Mike Williams, and then possibly Treylon Burks.
If he's back.
Yeah, I think
he should be back.
well, yeah.
But Treylon Burks is a good flex. A guy that I would put on the radar if you're looking for a waiver for tight ends. The Maryland tight end out of Maryland, Chigo Okonkwo. He had like 18 points last
Oh, God
week.
bless you. What did you say?
Chigo Okonkwo. But what it's
Chigo-
Okonkwo or something like that.
Oh, okay. That's what's up. Is he from Wakanda?
It could be.
Is-
But
I don't know where he's from.
he had 18 points last week in fantasy. I think he had. Let me look up his stats real quick. But I think he's a solid pickup for this week. He's on most waiver wires.
What's up, man?
He's
Can you-
yeah.
is
He's
it
only
possible-
9%. He's 9% rostered.
Okay, is it
Um,
possible to spell his name without a click?
It's
Nice.
CHIGO
Oh, don't do it. Oh God, it's too many letters.
OKONK.
No, don't do it,
W
bro. I got you. I got you. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah, he did pretty well last week. 11 points on the Jags.
No, there's few and far between for tight ends. So tight
Yeah.
ends can kind of lift you in the fantasy playoffs if you find the right one.
Definitely.
All right. Okay. I give you that.
All right. So,
But
yeah.
for people that need to figure out how to spell this, we might as well put this up now, because the second we get to this last game, I'm gonna sign off. This is just half-ass the thing I made quick for this. I had other slides, but if you need to spell this motherfucker's name, go to Twan's second pick. You go to the second pick and then you spell that nonsense there. Chicka
Okonkwo.
Uncle. Yeah, that guy. That dude, he's a guy who sells bean pies down by the Washington Monument in DC. That is the name you would spell him. Yeah. He is a true Hebrew. He's part of the reason that Kyrie Irving got suspended. This guy. But yeah, that is definitely it. So I'm gonna keep that up. What are the last few games?
All right, we got the Bengals and the Bucks.
Okay,
Fairly
Bengals,
easy.
Bucks.
Bengals, you got start Joe Burrow, start Jamar Chase.
The
Probably
running
even
back.
start-
Who's the running back for the Bengals?
Joe
right
Mixon.
now?
I think you might
Okay.
inflex. You might start, but like Samaje, even with Mixon back, has been figuring out a ways. They've been doing a
No,
real
they've been
double thing.
They have
with
been
him.
incorporating him a lot.
So I wouldn't be so bad. Like if you had to in a
Yeah, Sammy Perine is like that second.
Samaje P Ryan or
Yeah.
whatever. Only reason I know how to say his name is because he was drafted by the Redskins. So the only reason I know how to say is Samaje P Ryan.
So yeah,
Yeah, he could be a hot, like if you're in trouble, he might be a good pick.
yeah.
He's
I
a
agree,
50% rostered on my league or
He's
in
been
my
getting
app.
in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's 54% in
Okay, yeah.
mine.
Yeah, and,
So,
he went
if
about
you-
like 30 just because Mixon was out. People are just
Exactly.
rostering him, for that. But
Yeah.
he's been playing decent as well. So
His
That's
last
probably
four
why
games
they-
have been
why he
his
got-
last 4 games have been in our league at least 28 points, 16 points, 18 points, and then Mixon came back and he got 8.5. So even that is still pretty decent.
And you
it's
got the
pretty
game of the
decent.
week coming up.
Oh yeah, we
I don't know
already
if you guys
know
already
that
talked
is-
about this.
Well, we haven't talked about it yet. We say the best for last is what that is.
Guys got flexed in for some crazy reason, huh?
It's like who's got 2 thumbs and all the reason to lose this week to the Giants. Oh,
This is an interesting
Wouldn't make
matchup
any
either way. I think one of those games where again, not a lot of fantasy power, but you got your stars like Barkley. You
yeah,
should always
started
be scared
Barkley.
of Scary Terry.
Scary Terry for sure. I mean, you can't trust Samuel or Jahan Dotson. I mean, if you really want to go fucking nuts, maybe. I mean, you might want to. You can start one of them, but you start Brian Robinson. Brian Robinson is
That's the guy over Gibson.
Yes, he
Okay.
is the starting running back. He has been getting 20 plus carries for 4 weeks straight, and
Wow,
he's
okay.
a lot of the reason that we're winning. You know, like he had like 24 carries and like 110 yards, like against the Giants.
It does say he has a quad energy himself as well. Is that something like where it's not really a huge issue like Josh Jacobs?
Yeah, I think a lot of these. I kind of think this is some type of weird like espionage thing. Like,
Yeah.
how do we all get more injured going into a bye week? It doesn't make any fucking sense to me.
Yeah, yeah.
like some of these people that are on the like a medical list or whatever. I'm like, these guys weren't injured. There was no game. How do they get injured with no game? So, I mean, I think some of it might be smoke and mirrors. Like, oh, my quad hurts. The quad I got shot in a bunch of times. I'm like, yeah, I'm sure you can run on it, homie. Just wait till the rain stops. So, yeah, I would definitely start them. There's one player. I don't know. Yeah, you know how there's one waiver wire guy that you don't really, I don't know, you don't have the heart to pick up or whatever. But I'm going to say him. I don't know why. He had a decent game last weekend, or for the Giants, because they always play well against us. For the longest of sneakiest waiver wire pickups, Isaiah Hodgins.
Okay. Okay.
Barely even spoke about, but I want to say him. So next week, if Isaiah Hodgins has a good game against the Commanders, I want to talk shit.
The first matchup he dropped 15, and then even last week against the Eagles he dropped 15 in my league. So yeah, that's a really good.
Okay.
He's 4% rostered in my league as well, so that might be something, you know, like you said, sneaky.
Very sneaky, Isaiah Hodgins. I see. And, you know, people are starting Zonovan White and Zamir. What's the dude for the? This is Zamir White. I think I'm messing up all these names right now. I think I'm messing them all up. It's getting too late in the day. But all right, so Twan, go. What we have just the Monday night game then after that, right?
We got the Rams and the Packers. Two teams that will not make the playoffs.
Right. I think it's crazy because Aaron Rodgers is available in my league, and I'm yeah. So I never.
That is so bad
for me in my league. He's 58% rostered in my, you know, the app that I use.
Yeah.
So that's insane to even say. You know, I don't think I've ever said that in my life.
No,
back-to-back MVP quarterback. You know. But I mean, he did it himself, you know. He let go of Devontae Adams. You know, I'm tired of hearing him bitch and cry when even if Devontae Adams had a chance to say Adams said he didn't want to.
Yeah, it's Tom Brady. Roster, like, is he there too? Yeah, I would have never expected him.
Tom Brady in my league, he's 68%, so it's a 10% more that people have him.
Wow.
But yeah, somebody does have him.
Well,
I don't know. I don't know if somebody in your league has him, but are they starting Aaron Rodgers? Is the question.
Oh no, I have him and I lost, and that's a big reason
okay.
why. So,
and it's crazy. You know, last week in my league, he scored 13 points. It's like this man used to be dropping, you know, easily 25. You know, you'd be, you know, quarterbacks really, you know, it's a really scary start because you want to at least get 20 or more from your quarterback. You know, these 13, 11 points. You know, you're expecting it from your low end running back. You know. So it's insane.
I mean, it's all his fault. I think Bruce Arians is a much better coach, especially offensively, than Todd Bowles. And I think he only got out of there because Tom Brady was basically saying, I won't play again because he didn't like Bruce Arians, which is
that's crazy,
stupid. Man. Why would you not like the guy who won your fucking Super Bowl?
And if you didn't know this, Bruce Arians is from the Steelers as well. So, I mean, that was also we let go in favor of Tomlin. You know, sometimes I do wish we kept Arians, but...
Okay,
you know,
okay. I'm a Redskins fan. Don't you start that with me. Don't you start that with me. All right? Do you want me to go down the fucking list?
Coach Tree,
Kyle Shanahan's and Sean McVay's and what is it? Damn it! Is it McConnell? Who's the coach? Who's the coach for the
Kevin
Packers?
McConnell. Oh no,
Kevin McConnell as well, but also the coach for the.
I know
Packers.
what you're talking about.
No, I understand. That's what I'm saying. It's hard. I mean, as a Steelers fan, I'm not bitching because we only had 3.
Below Kyle Shanahan, Mike
Mike McDaniel.
Yeah.
Like he was there too. He was in the Redskins. He was in the facility. Like, oh god. there's
Yeah, I'm
so
definitely
many
not,
coaches.
I'm definitely not bitching. I'm just like, damn, it was so hard because, again, as a Steeler fan, we've only had 3 coaches in the last, 40 plus years. But, to see the coaches that we did let go, like Arians, what's his name? Weisenhunt. I think he coached a
Yeah.
little bit out there in the
Yeah.
Cardinals. I think we ended up, playing him in the Super Bowl. But, I mean, there's a couple coaches I know.
Tomlin.
Yeah, definitely. But
He's so good. He's so good. He's black and he's still a head coach. In the NFL. That's how good he is.
Well, yeah, and just wrapping it up. I do want to thank you again, guys, for having me on. I always, it's a really fun time. I've been playing fantasy for over 10 years, and
Definitely had a lot of fun having you here.
It was fun having you, sir. It was good having your input. Things went a little smoothly. I so smoothly that I was too involved about asking you questions about Steelers.
Oh man, I appreciate it, man.
Instead of-
I don't have a lot of people that I talk football with here in my personal town, so it's nice to, like I said, it's always nice coming in on Wednesday to watch Boxhead and watch you guys talk football. So again,
that's what's up, man.
I just hope next year you guys can say you guys are in the playoffs. I'm heartbroken, man.
That is the plan. That is the plan. Man, we're in a league that has been around for at least, I think, 15 years. I have this trophy that has
brother.
This trophy that has I think 32 plaques around it, and I think we're halfway through it. And so
that's amazing.
it rotates. So I don't think I haven't had to replace many of them. So it's we're all original members for the most part.
Yeah,
so,
I have that one. That's the one I lost. I did lose Cooper Kupp, so I do feel your pain, Johnny. But I was able to replace him with Watson. But I still, unfortunately, this last game I legit lost by 0.2 points. I
almost replaced it with Watson, but some boxhead was higher up on the waiver wire than me.
Oh man, that's so yeah. Watson luckily came in and took. I mean, he took care of business. Replacing Cup.
I would have won and been in the playoffs if I would have gotten Christian Watson. I know
that's why you can't talk shop sometimes with the enemy. Huh?
Spoiler.
These other two, like I said, my biggest MVPs were Josh Jacobs, and it's just hopefully next year, for sure. I don't think Josh Jacobs is going to fall out of the first round.
Hey,
go ahead.
Ours is a little different just because we've been doing it 15 years, but maybe about halfway through. We do a keeper league.
Oh, okay. So damn.
Yeah, so
all right.
Every year we do so it's been increased this year to 3 keepers. Oh, you don't have to keep all of them.
Yeah,
you don't have to fill those slots, but if you wanted to, you could.
That's intense, man. So I'm sure you're keeping a Cup either way, huh, Johnny?
Yeah, I've kept Cup for the last few years. Look at my keepers. This is my first 3 picks for last year. I was like, oh, I'm good. Like here was Derrick Henry, Cooper Kupp, and Dalvin Cook. That's my third keeper.
Oh, damn, bro. Yeah,
that's
so I'm intense.
I'm set. And then at the same time Cooper Kupp got hurt, Derrick Henry decided to score 4 points a week for 4 weeks. I don't know if you noticed that or if you saw that.
I haven't, no.
Derrick Henry, if you go look at his stats, there was a good 3 weeks where he was scoring less than 10 points. So yeah, I'm like, what's going on? I would have been better off.
I see 8, I see the 5. Yeah, it's crazy.
That's bad,
right?
I
think a lot of people still regret taking Taylor above Henry.
Oh, I'm sure. But
I think next year is going to be a really interesting draft as well. If you're not in the keeper league, are you going to go with Jonathan Taylor again, or are you going to, go back to Henry?
I think you might want to go Josh Jacobs.
That's what I'm saying. That's just crazy. And I got him in the 5th round this year, and I know I'm not going to get that lucky next year. But again, I appreciate you guys. I can't wait to see you guys next Wednesday. Hopefully, I can say I'm still in the playoffs. I'm going to be signing out so you guys can close out yourself. I appreciate you guys.
All right,
man. Element. I'll see you around. Thanks for joining. Have a great rest of your night, man.
Thank you.
All right, peace. All right. That was cool. I mean, geez, that ended up going an extra hour once he got on.
I think no matter how we try and cut it to be 45 to 60 minutes, it's
no. Talk. Sorry, listen.
It's
We
gonna be
were-
hard. It's gonna be hard.
Dude, we were on schedule. The guest thing, which no disrespect. I mean, if you watch this, whatever, like that was fun. I enjoyed talking about it. It was great. But
That was
we
good.
were on when we got to the Steelers, was halfway through. It was
We were already over an hour.
it was
at that.
8. No, it was not, bro. We can go back and
I'll
look
look
at
at it again.
Go look at the live.
I'll
I
look
was
at it
looking
again.
the thing. It was 8:55, right? And when we were getting there, and it was just about 9 o'clock. He gets on, we start talking. And we started at about 8:10. So we were about the 50-minute mark. I feel like in 10 minutes we could have got to the point where we could have finished the 4 o'clock games and got to the thing, or just over. I think we would have been about an hour and 10 minutes if we
Oh,
just
you could. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm
on.
looking at it right now. I'm looking at my chat and seeing when things.
Yeah,
No, it was
when he
good
got
though.
on.
It was fun though.
Yeah.
It was
It was fun. It was
probing.
fun. Now it could have, like I said, if we got more into making taking questions or whatever, it could have gone longer. But I think if we do it like that, we can keep it at about an hour.
Yeah.
I know we're not professionals yet, to say, but I know just with how we ramble, it's gonna happen.
Mhm,
But we were
mhm,
pretty close up until the point he came in. But that was me too, just because it was interesting to be like, I got questions for Steelers fans.
Hmm.
Because what do you think about Pickett? What do you think about that? What do you think of this? So
I mean, we all grew up around a lot of Steelers fans, so
yeah, on the East Coast, man. So
Yeah.
but rate, review, subscribe. I always
Definitely
forget
fun.
to say that at the beginning, and I stop.
So
But
the one thing I will have to figure out on my
Yeah.
end is when you share screen, I don't get everything on my end.
okay,
I
But,
just get
it's
just
on the live.
I get yeah, it's on the live. I saw that because I was on there, but I get basically a zoomed in version of all three of our faces and not
Okay.
the shared screen. So I have to figure out how to incorporate that when it does change. I'm gonna play around with that.
Well, I'm gonna try to. Well, I need to probably figure out if I could connect OBS through this, because with that, it's like OBS is just way more freedom using
Yeah.
that.
OBS is way more
Yeah.
free. Way more free.
And like using the Zoom thing, I can press these different buttons. But like if I can have a bunch of different windows open with OBS and try to figure out. I just haven't ever connected it to Zoom. You know what I'm saying? Or if it can be done, I'm not sure about that. But I think you can stream on OBS. I just haven't worked that out yet. All these things now, this is just small to say that I have ideas in which will help us get more viewers, but it's like I don't feel great enough about the product yet. Maybe it'll never be good enough in my crazy head. But
There's always bigger and better ahead of everything.
It's always bigger and better. I just the basic where I want to be with video editing. I'm not there yet.
No.
But we're fine. I think we're fine with the live shit. We can get better with that. But I think we would be decent if we just had. I tried a little more with the protection this week. Okay.
I saw.
Yeah. It'll look better on the live, but I didn't know you were having that issue. But I made.
I'll try and figure it out.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I made 8 different slides or whatever or things via whatever between getting off of work and coming to do this shit. So I'll see how that looks in my edit, because there's something I need to figure out too, because I wanted to see how it looked with the third person, and I have it on double screen for us like it is right now on YouTube.
Yeah.
But when I do the recording on Zoom, it doesn't do side by side. It does back and forth based off the talking.
Oh, well, I have my view in gallery mode.
Yeah, and I have mine in gallery mode as well.
I had all three of us
Yeah, but when for some reason when I noticed that when I do the recording, when I check the recording after this that I
Oh,
download
that's
from
weird.
Zoom, it doesn't keep it in gallery mode. So I'm
Oh,
like, damn it,
so
do
it
I
keeps it
have
in,
to
oh, so
down?
it puts in
Yeah,
speaker mode, I
yeah,
guess.
yeah. It puts
Oh,
it in
that's
speaker
dumb.
mode. And so I'm like, why isn't it speaker mode and going back? So it makes our face, it goes back and forth in speaker mode. Every like the last few times I was doing it. So I didn't really like edit the video because
Yeah, that's weird.
I wanted it was supposed to be like this so I can edit these
Yeah.
parts out. And so I just put the intro in front and just uploaded it. I
Huh.
gotta figure out